What's going on, everybody? Dominic back with a super exciting video today, walking you through a couple of case studies on how adding a small shipping protection upsell has increased the profits by an average of 11% on numerous Shopify accounts I work with. In this video, I'm going to break down how we add the shipping protection, the third party versus custom coding it, and exactly the numbers that it's brought my partners and I, and it's just been incredible, with certain accounts bringing in about $6,000 a month in increased profits, complete profits. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Dominic Mayu. I run an e-commerce agency specializing in assisting Shopify brands in scaling to millions of dollars of profitable revenue. And this is just one piece of that. So I don't want this video to be super long. All of my videos have been running pretty long recently, so I just want to get right into it. So first, case study one, this partner sells a higher end drinkware to a female-based audience with an AOV of around $40. So if you're wondering if shipping insurance only works for products at higher AOVs, it doesn't. It works for everybody. So since implementing shipping insurance, it's actually been their second top seller. We are selling it for a much cheaper price point at $2.49, obviously with an AOV around 40. But the stores experienced a 5% increase in AOV with a 12% increase to profit in their pocket. Now, case study two, this partner specializes in higher end jewelry, mostly watches to a mostly male-based audience. And because their AOV sits around $300, with some items going much higher than that, we implemented just a stand-based shipping protection price at $9.99. This store sees a 20% take rate on this shipping protection, which is ridiculous. It's actually higher than case study one, sitting at $249. And this is the brand that's leading to about $6,000 in additional profit every single month just from the shipping protection. It is phenomenal. So let's get into what is shipping insurance, how to implement it in your store, the kind of pros and cons to each method, etc. So, shipping insurance is basically just an upsell provided to the customers to protect them from damage, loss, or theft during the shipment process, right? So they pay a small fee for this insurance, and if their package is lost or damaged, they can file a claim and be reimbursed for a refund or just sent a new product. Here's a little example of this cart upsell. This is where I've added the upsell for all of my partners. Is literally just a little upsell right above the checkout button in the slide out cart. So now let's talk about why we should offer shipping insurance, right? Who should offer it? Why should we offer it? And I'll start with who, and I really think anybody can add this to their brand very profitably. At least it's 100% worth a test. Now, I will say I have had a couple partner accounts whose take rate on this upsell has not been nearly as strong as some other brands, but I think it's 100% worth a test to kind of see where you fall. So now let's say, why should we offer this? So the biggest and most important piece is most companies already fulfill this type of service without monetizing it. Okay. So if I order from your company and 2 weeks later I send you an email saying, hey, I never got my package. Where is it? And you track it and figure out it was lost or something, you typically will probably already file a claim to the shipping provider and then just send another one. Now, maybe not if you're a super high AOV product, but for the most part, I'd say 95% of the people I've worked with in the past basically just fulfill this type of service without monetizing it at all. So if they get a customer service message saying they never received it, they just go ahead and send another one. Now, what this does is actually monetizes that. Now, sure, not everybody's going to take it, but if you can get that 10 to 20% take rate, it's just going to monetize that, give you a little bit of a bonus, a little bit more profit in your pocket by just doing the exact same systems. Now, second is it's super easy to implement. Like I said, I'm going to walk you through two strategies on how to implement this. I'd say both of them are extremely easy. You can be up and running in an hour or two and start making money on it right away. Now, third is it's nearly 100% margins and you can start making money immediately. Again, now it depends on your existing policies. If you don't already just fulfill that stuff automatically, then it definitely can eat into your profits when people create claims. So you want to be pretty specific on how you write the legal pages behind these, but yeah, it's 100% profit margins. Fourth is we've seen a very low take rate on the refunds slash fulfillment. It does happen, but like I said, the brands I work with were already offering basically just refunds or reshipments. So this is just 100% margins for them. And five is it obviously increases AOV. It actually can potentially increase conversion rate too. We've noticed for people that add this upsell in their cart, they convert at 65%, which is well above our standard checkout average, sitting at about 50%. So that alone makes a huge difference just in conversions. So let's talk about how to integrate this, right? There's two main ways. You can custom code it or you can use a third-party integration. Now let's start with the pros and cons of each and kind of what they are. So custom coding this means you're basically coding it yourself through code, through CSS, Java. I don't know exactly the language, but you're custom coding that upsell in the cart, right? This little upsell here in the cart, you're custom coding it. Now, the pros to this is it's fully customizable, right? You can do whatever you want to it as long as you either know code or have a developer that knows code. You don't need to deal with any third parties, and it's free to implement outside of paying that developer, obviously. Now, the cons is you do need to have a developer or know how to code this yourself. There's no fancy dashboard or back end that kind of helps you manage it, which I'll show you an example of what that looks like in a second. And any of the fulfillment and claims are completely on you. Now, third-party integrations, this is through an app called Navidium. I think that's how you pronounce it, Navidium. I don't have any sort of relationship with them. I wish I did, but I've used these guys a handful of times, and they are awesome. So I highly recommend Navidium. Unless you have a reason to fully customize it yourself, I'd probably roll with this. Again, I have an incredible team of back-end devs. So about half my partners use here and about half my partners are custom. Just kind of depends on the needs. But the pros for Navidium is it's extremely easy to integrate. You don't need to know any code. You just want to go to the App Store, search this up, and download it. Another really cool thing is you can actually run percentage-based pricing. So if it's $100 cart, you can say I want it to be 3% of what's ever in their cart, right? So at $100, it'd be $3. At $150, it'd be $4.50, etc. And then it also gives you a really good back-end kind of dashboard. Now the cons are it's not quite as flexible as the custom coding, obviously. It's not the best and most responsive UX UI. I will say we had to reach out to their support a handful of times to help it integrate into our theme to actually look like this. So if your theme is very custom, you may run into problems. And then obviously there's a monthly charge with this app. I think it's like $50 a month for the most expensive plan. So it is not a lot of money, but there is a charge. Here's what that dashboard looks like that I was talking about. This is the back end of Navidium. It shows you, the take rate, the percentage of orders with claims, etc. So that is a pretty neat little setting. Now, how do you actually price this shipping insurance, right? There's two ways to do it. There's variable costs. This is like the Navidium system where you can do percentage-based costs. You can kind of do thresholds. So anything between $100 and $200 is $5. Anything between $200 and $400 is $7, etc. Or you can do a fixed cost, just kind of a super easy standard $4.99 on all orders, right? Now, how you want to base this is really just off of your AOV, right? The higher AOV you have, the more you can charge. Now, a little rule of thumb is, at least in my partner accounts, I've never gone above $9.99 and I've never gone less than $2.49. Okay, so you don't want shipping insurance to just be this major price point upsell. This shouldn't be what's going to turn your business around or anything like that. Really, it's just a little bonus on top of what you're already doing. So what you want to do is consider the take rate and then the pricing to build equations, right? So maybe you say you want to integrate it for $3.99 and that gets a 12% take rate. And you test that for a couple weeks and then you change it to $2.99. If that take rate increases up to 20%, for example, that may end up being worth it in the long run, or it might not because that could lead to more refunds and more claims. So it's hard to say. Typically, I'm priced between about $3 and $6 for most of my brands. Now, the super high AOV products that are 300 plus, that's really where I start playing with the higher margin shipping insurance just because they have more to lose in that card if they're spending $800 on a watch. a $10 shipping insurance upsell doesn't seem so much, right? But if they're spending $50 on a tumbler, a $249 is more of that no-brainer shipping cost. So again, it shouldn't be super expensive ever. And yeah, just leverage it based on your AOV. So that's pretty much this whole video. Yeah, I think it's a great system. I definitely think it's worth it for everybody to test. Again, I would say probably about 4 out of every 5 partners that I've tested this on has led to a pretty big win. There are those occasional brands that it just doesn't really work as well. So it's definitely worth a test. If you do want to test it, I'd probably recommend rolling with Navadium, just getting it set up. You can get it set up in like an hour, and then watch the take rate that you have. Anything less than probably 5% take rate, if less than 5% of orders take it, it's probably not worth the real estate there in the cart, but that's totally up to you. 5% of orders, if you're doing 10,000 orders a month, is pretty significant, right? 5% of orders, if you're doing 10 orders a month, not as significant. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'd gauge for. And I hope this video helped. If you have any questions on this piece, definitely let me know. I am going to add 2 links below. One link is for our free custom AI CRO wizard. That is a GPT-4o wizard that we trained extensively on the art of conversion rate optimization. You do need GPT Plus to access that, but that is totally free. You can visit that below. There's also a link to schedule a call with me below if you want to talk. If you are an e-commerce brand doing at least $10,000 a month in revenue and you are interested in potentially working together, definitely schedule a call with me. I'd be happy to talk and see what we can do. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and keep crushing e-com. See ya.